Yeah. Yeah, we can start. Pragya. Yes, we can start now. Pragya, you can introduce with the Siddharth sir.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, Pragya, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. So a very good morning to one and all. I welcome everyone to 157th webinar of the Saturday web series. I am Pragya Mishra, Business Executive at Manager for Innovation and Agripreneurship, Hyderabad. The Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship is a center of excellence in agribusiness incubation hosted at National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, MANAGE. It is one of the leading agribusiness incubators in India. MANAGE CI has mentored 626 entrepreneurs and incubated 383 startups from various focus areas of the agri and allied sectors, having trained up to startups in agri-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy technology, commodity trading, supply chain management, and agri-consultancy. The center has assisted and provided relentless support to agripreneurs, helping them fine-tune their ideas and upscale operations. Today's session is on community-based agri-startups, enhancing livelihood and income levels. We are delighted to have two esteemed speakers with us today. Our first speaker for today is Mr. Siddharth Mishra. Siddharth Mishra is working as operations manager at Urja Development Solutions. He has experience in finance, operations, and social sector compliance. He also has experience in due diligence audit, cash flow, budgeting, filing of employee benefit taxes, EPF, ESIC, profession tax, TDS, GST, employee expenses management, and other areas related to MIS, logistics management, and so on. So, with this brief introduction, I would like to hand over the session to Sir.
Thanks, Pragya, for that beautiful introduction. Let me know if I am audible to you guys very clearly. I will share my screen now with all of you.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. You are the presenter. Yes, I can see your screen now. It is coming up. Yes, sir. Good to
Okay.
go.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the slides may be looking a little bit smaller as it's the whole PPT is in portrait mode. So let me quickly introduce to our organization, which is Urja. So Urja was started in year 2016, and we are the co-founders for Amit Sarogya and Clementine Chamber. The whole soul and purpose of Urja is to provide agriculture-based services in the communities or in the villages. So we have the mission statement of to reach 10 million farmers globally by 2030, and we want to increase their income, quality, and sustainability of their lives. So this is the mission. This is the mission for which all of our Urja team, all our stakeholders are working all day and night to achieve this 10 million goal by 2030. How we look forward to achieve this goal is by bringing access to distributed and clean, reliable energy for the communities, reduce fossil fuel consumption and expenses for the communities. Also, we look forward to increase productivity and income for the farmers, and we stimulate economic development and reduce greenhouse gases emissions. So how we do this, how we bring this change in the communities or in the villages, and we directly and we very much constantly work with the farmers. So how we tend to bring these changes. So as you all know that agriculture makes up 20% of India's GDP and provides livelihood to half of our population. The sector needs reliable and affordable energy sources to act as a motor for poverty alleviation and economic growth. So to meet which we provide three services as of now, which is irrigation, cooling, and milling. So as we know that 30 million farmers use diesel pump for their irrigation needs. High cost of diesel fuel rental and maintenance lies between 5,000 to 8,000 per acre. Each session lead to grow yields 86% of farmers have and land holding of less than 2 hectares and cannot afford alternatives. So that is where we comes into the picture, and we provide the irrigation, sustainable irrigation, renewable solutions to the farmers in the villages. Also, also as we know that India ranks second in the fruit and vegetable production, but 30 to 40% horticulture production worth rupees 1 lakh crore is lost annually. Smallholder farmers do not own cold storages and lack access to facilities. Produce that is not wasted is often sold at loss at local middlemen. So as we know that most of the production used to get destroyed because of the weather conditions or of the because of the weather conditions. So in that case, what we do, we bring in the cooling units, like the cold storages we used to install in the farmlands or in the mandis, where the farmers can keep their goods, keep the vegetables or keep the fruits in those cold storages. Also, we provide solar milling services to the to the farmers. So as you know, in many household, women are responsible for milling and flour, spice, and other produce. They usually travel 5 to 10 kilometers to the nearest mill. Diesel mills charge more per kg of produce milled, whereas this facility could be provided in the villages itself, saving them time and money. So we provide these three services as of now, which are irrigation, cooling, and milling services. All three run from the renewable energy sources. So as we all know that we want to uplift the females in the like the female, we want to bring in the female farmers in the in front line. So for that also we are working. We are like also we used to add the subscribers while we used all our renewable energy sources in the villages. So we are looking forward to bring in the females also into the mainstream or into the picture. So how does our business model work? So pay per use services for the agriculture powered by decentralized solar photovoltaic energy. uh, so definitely there is no upfront cost, and it is very affordable and reliable as we do all the operations and maintenance in the future. So it is very reliable. So first, we used to see like what we get the finances, we install it in the field, and then we operate and maintain, and then we sell those services at very reliable and pay per use basis to the farmers in the communities. Also, the customers, like the benefits which our customers used to have from these renewable energy sources is that their energy cost is reduced by 20 to 60%. Their field crops are yield get better. In around 50 to 30%, their yields are better. Also, reduced wastage of fresh production is more than is decreased by 30 to 40% with the cooling unit. And the price of crops which are sold is increased as the productivity is more and the wastage is less. Also, also the income of farmers is increased by 50 to 100%. So currently we have the three farming services: Unnati, which is you can say as a solar pumping set, which we used to install in the villages, where farmer has to pay as per the per metric water. Like for 1,000 liters of water, the farmer has to pay 4 rupees as a tariff. And then we have the milling services, where the tariff is for like 40 rupees for an hour and 60 rupees for an hour for 3 HP and 5 HP depending. Also, we have the cold storages where we used to charge as per crate per day basis. So all three of the units are currently deployed in the UP and Bihar, and lot of like our impact and measuring data. If you will see from the website, it's like growing every second with more assets being installed on the ground. So now I will come to the page where I will tell you that how do we work. So first step is that we raise the finance for the company. Definitely the finance is raised through the equity, through the funds, through the grants, also through the other partners or by partnerships. This is how we raise the finance. Then the second step is to do the site identification, which is done by our business development team. And also we assess the demand, that what is the water demand in there. And these two processes are very much crucial for us, as if anything goes wrong in site identification or demand assessment, then definitely the business or the asset which we install at the ground will not work. So for that, we identify the site. We have the separate whole team set who does the site identification and demand assessment on the ground. Post demand assessment, we go with the installation of the product. So we have the in-house engineering team who does the installation work and sees that everything goes correctly after that. Once the installation is done, we start with the service delivery. So we have the collection people and sales agent who goes regularly, and we have the operator model also. Like we have the one guard kind of a person in located in the village itself who looks after our system and collects the dues from the customers and pay it. Like he acts as a medium between Urja and the customers. So we used to have that operator in the villages. Also, it's like as we know, it's pay per use, so it's very affordable and is utilized as on today. It is being used by a lot of the farmers in UP and Bihar. Post like pay per use, like the seventh step, what we do is we do the ops and maintenance. Like if something goes wrong in the asset or asset is not working properly, we ensure that all the repairs and maintenance used to happen on time, and then we from the management level and for the whole team we do the monitoring of the assets, that if anything goes wrong we have to get it corrected then and there. So for now, our operations model, how does it looks is like our structure is for now we uh, we expand in 1 to 5 kilometer of a farmland, and we deploy our assets in clusters. So what our clusters currently consist of? We have 4 solar pumps. Like in one cluster, we used to have 4 solar pumps and one multi-purpose pulverizer, or you can call it a solar mill. And then we used to have the 0.25 cold storage, as over like 20-25 pumps we used to install one cold storage. So that's why it is 0.25 cold storage in one cluster. And then how much field team or how much human resources we require to run one cluster is, so we require at least 1 to 3 operators on one collection agents or one collection agent on 10 clusters. So what our collection agents do, our collection agents goes to the village, and the amount of electricity which is produced by this solar panels, when it is being sold to the customers, the amount they pay back to our collection agents, and then when they collect the amount, they bring it back and they deposit it to the Urja's bank account. So this is the model which we are having as of now. It is a pay-per-use model, and it is been running successfully in the areas of UP and Bihar for now. Also, we target we for now we are in Uttar Pradesh districts are Bahraich, Shravasti, Barabanki, Lucknow, and Hardoi. Also in Bihar, we have the presence is Muzaffarpur, Samastipur. Odisha, we have already the demand and assessment team are present in Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and West Bengal, and we tend to expand in these territories very soon. Also, as we know that the Bahraich is shares its border with Nepal, so we are also seeing the business expansion possibility for now in Nepal, and also we are in touch with the partners in Cambodia and Africa to expand our business in there. So how do we choose a district? Like what are the characteristics of a district where we want to expand our? So definitely there should be the low rainfall, high solar radiation should be there, no and very low flood risk. So the floods should not be there, or the water should not be locked on the fields. And we see that diesel should be the primary mode of irrigation on those fields. Also, the penetration of electric pumps should be less so that we can run our business sustainably there, and the competition is also less for us. Also, we see that the on-grid electricity is less than 16 hours per day. Also, the ground table should not be very low, as it will increase our boring and other costing. And at least the farmers used to have 2 growing seasons. For example, for now it's Rabi has started, and for now it's Kharif is going, and then Rabi will be started. So at least 2 growing sessions should be there for the farmers. So this is how all of our business model operates in the for now. And yeah, so this was all about the Urja. Like I just tried to give you the gist. Definitely there is a lot going in, but this is just a gist. So for questions, I will come back to you, Amit, that you want to get questions for now or for later. We will have the questions, so
Oh,
you
no.
just guide me
We
ready
will take
yourself.
these questions after the second speaker session. But I would say it seems to be a very simple model, pay per use, but at the same time, I can realize it how difficult to get the subscriptions and get the money from the farmers. And although to get the reach with the farmers targeted, it's quite difficult, and Urja is quite doing great. So that's why I can see you are working in a very focused manner in a different states only, like UP and Bihar. Probably you can expanding operations in the rest of the India and globe as well. Looking forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, as mentioned, participants, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, or you may raise the hands directly, ask to the questions that we will taken up after the second speaker session. So now with this, we will come to our second speaker. Pragya, could you please introduce to Rupinder Singh?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So our second speaker for today's session is Mr. Rupinder Singh. Rupinder Singh is working as head Farmers Network at Harvesting Farmers Network. His experience in assisting startups from space till their stability in the space. His areas of expertise are agricultural technology, healthcare and e-commerce, and growth strategy, data analysis, process improvement, and business development. So I would like to, in with this introduction, I would like Sir to take the session forward.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pragya, for this introduction. I'm just sharing my screen.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
guys,
Your
is my
screen is
screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see the screen.
Got it. So I'll be using English for speaking in this forum, but for any questions or anything, आप किसी भी भाषा में आप use करके सवाल पूछ सकते हैं.
Yes.
As
Sir. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Now it is in full screen mode. Yeah, good to go, sir.
Yeah. Right. So as the topic says, we are discussing community-based agri infrastructure and how it can increase the livelihood of farmers in our Indian demographic. I think this is where HFN can position itself. I think this could be a beautiful tagline for HFN itself. So I'll explain what HFN is, what are the problems we are solving, and then we may be sharing that how we may be able to create a impact in this ecosystem, which is itself very complicated. Now we all understand, we are all agri experts. I think we are here to learn from you. But Indian agriculture is very fragmented. When I say fragmented, which means the average land holding of Indian farmer is probably 1/100th or 1/200th of world average. When we talk about likes of US or Canada or Australia. Now with these small land holding, along with some huge information asymmetry between the farmers, it possesses challenge for the farmers to grow their income. We are very much familiar with this code that farmers buy in retail and sell in wholesale, and which is a very true scenario. Now, this is a very complex problem, and we started working on it 7 years back. And while we were understanding it, we found out that the entire process itself is very complex. It's uncertain for a farmer. It's like, what if for a salaried guy, what if we say that every month your salary is going to vary depending on how much electricity you get in your office? Like I may not have any control in the electricity of the office, but then my salary should not get vary from it, and that's the common consensus. But the farmer operates like that. It's very uncertain, it's very complex. And from the time of having the seed, buying the seed, preparing land, to the last step of selling it out, all the steps that are included in the process are in itself very complex. And the previous speaker, Mr. Siddharth, put it really well, that it is very important to address it very deeply. And it was amazing to hear about him from the aspects of Urja. But it's very much evident that Indian farmer is left with little or less no money, and it is unable to capture the entire value. When you see farmers' sales are produced at X rupees, while we say it is X for a particular farmer, but then for the same farmer, same land, same crop, it could be X minus some percentage, because the variability is very high. So we understood that it may not be possible to solve this thing without seeing it as a holistic opinion. So what HFN does, it tries to unlock the entire value chain for these small scale farmers. we don't focus just on one aspect of it, which is not not either the inputs or the output, or just one or small aspect of it, because we understand that if we want to create this community of farmers and create a value chain for them, we have to individually pick up these aspects, make this community out of it, create a trust environment, and then only we will be able to create an impact in their life. And that's what we are doing. So HFN is actually making small scale farming more efficient, and that itself explains what we are trying to do. We address it from seed to market, wherein a farmer goes to a retailer to buy a seed. We try to impact at that position. He buys the right product, right quality at the right price. When he's sowing it, when he's doing the preparation, when he's irrigating it, we try to make sure that he gets the right advice to do the right irrigation, so that the intermediate problems and the variabilities are addressed. And when it goes to the end aspect, when the farmer is ready with the produce in his on his tractor, and he's willing to sell it, we try to make sure that he has all the opportunities available for him to sell, and the decision can be taken in a much better manner rather than getting restricted to just selling in a mandi. So that's where the HFN impacts. We try to solve this entire scale through through our technology that we are building in house. We understand that just digital cannot solve the Indian farming ecosystem problems. Just physical will not be able to solve it. We think it has to be a mixture of both. We also believe that individual farmers may not have the negotiation power to work with us or with the company. So it is important to build them and get them together in a community. And hence, we try to find a leader amongst that community, which we call our HFN agent or HFN Sarthi on ground. This guy helps us address the farmers in that village, brings them together, explain them what HFN is, help them buy input at a bulk so that their cost goes down, help them sell their produce if we have a good buyer, so that they can get a better realization of the value of the product that they have grown. Not just on the transactional value, this HFN agent also helps brings literacy more into the ecosystem. This person, through its own knowledge and through the connection of HFN, brings the important knowledge, important information to the community, which can help the community take better decision, whether it's related to the crop, it's related to finance, it's related to output, it's related to any form of advisory, credit facilities. So he brings the knowledge and the connection of HFN directly to the farmers in this community. And that's how we are able to impact village by village and going village by village and helping the farmers get a better realization of their produce. By becoming this part, so this is one of the product that we have. We have an application which is being used by this agent to access the services of HFN. Now, we don't give this app to all the farmers. We understand that in a cluttered manner, this may not be impactful, but this is with the community leader that we have selected. This community leader creates a network of farmer in this application. This application helps them to communicate with those farming network, tell them about all the services that HFN is bringing them, help them address their queries, and then make them the realization much better. These are the some now if I see, as I told you before, that the aspects are on multiple levels. So we have the input side. Now, agri input, we say whatever farmer is buying to grow the crops. When we say agri output, it is what the farmer is selling to take the money in for his usage. When we say financial services, it's anything related to the credit that is involved during the entire cropping cycle or in the livelihood of a farmer, and other problems like the excess and the data asymmetry problem. When we say data asymmetry, it's as simple as knowing that 10 villages from here, a disease is spreading and I don't know about it till the time my crop gets that disease. To make sure that data asymmetry gets solved, we have some modules of solution that we work on individually while keeping this community as a whole. Now, as working over years, what we have realized is wherever we have enabled a farmer in this end-to-end life journey of growing crop to selling, the impact has been amazing. Wherein the farmers are getting higher ROI in their production exercise. They're using less chemicals, which is telling them that the right quantity is this for the better productivity. They're getting higher yield by the timely usage of pesticide or any kind of chemical which is necessary at that point of time. And at some cases, we are very much happy to say that we are helping them get a better realization in their produce also, wherein we are able to fetch them better rates than mandi. And that's a very tricky assignment because mandi itself could be a self-sustaining ecosystem, but then helping them realize that okay, mandi price is X, but we are helping you X plus 10% or 5%, brings that farmer confidence along with the payment timing and everything. Now, so this entire thing helps them improve their income. Like if their cost goes down, if their productivity is at least maintained, not goes down, and maybe a little bit improved, and if they are able to get a better price, in and all, this increase their margin, which helps them take better care of their families or to take some other riskier or other bets in the agriculture and maybe try different crop diversification practices. Now that's where we are. Our mission, we at HFN, our small team, which is growing day by day, we are here to address this problem not just for India but at a global level. We understand that while India is heading towards a $5 trillion economy, we are all evident about the after effects of COVID, and we realize that food is going to be an important aspect to address, and we are just one part of the puzzle to help solve it for the next generation. And we wish to impact hundreds and millions of acres and bring this knowledge back to the farmers. And that's our entire mission. It's summarized in beautifully in one line by our CEO, which is we leave no farmer behind. And that's where I would like to conclude my presentation. Yeah, that's it from my side. Over to you, Pragya, the managed team. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Rupender, for giving a brief about your startup. I must say, HFN is doing really a commendable job. The impact slide which you mentioned, that of course it is helping farmers not to reduce the chemical use by 15%, but to getting the 15% price better to their produces. This is what exactly through the agriculture extension activities everyone is expecting from the agri startups like you, and that's the reason to arrange the today's session, that is the how community based agri startups are enhancing the livelihoods and the income level. Yeah, very well you mentioned about the startup activities also, in which areas you are serving. So with this, we will be move forward to our next session of this webinar, Q&A section. So I'm requesting once again to the participants that if you have any questions, kindly put it in the chat box, or you may directly raise the hands to ask the questions directly to the speakers. So I can see a couple of questions are there coming in the WebEx chat box and in the YouTube as well. I'll take it one by one. So the first question is asked by the Mr. Sharath Pant, that is coming to the Rupender, that how HFN is going to contract with the buyers and ensure the payment on time or as pre-commitment timeline, because mostly the fraud or cheating is farmers' payment is very common in picture and agri producers market. So this may be we seen these cases also. So how exactly HFN is dealing in these situations, that we would like to hear from you, Rupender.
Yeah, so thank you. I think it's a very valid question. Trust is a very important aspect when we are working with farmers. I believe I, I would like to believe that farmers are very good, innocent people who would like to be trusted. And for the trust to be built, it has to be a two-way street. We understand this problem very clearly. HFN ensures that whatever we buy from the farmer, irrespective of what the payment we get from the buyers at what time, we provide the payment to the farmer either on spot or within a couple of days. And being in the starting days, it's impossible to to hold the payment for longer if we are in the game of creating trust with the farmers. Now that creates a financial constraint also, for which we are working with a lot of banks which the hit is what we are taking at our end to ensure the farmer gets the payment on time. But that's the only way we can move the capital in a manner so that the farmer gets the payment on time. One thing is very clear to us and to the entire ecosystem, that irrespective of any other profession, farmer has waited 3 months, 6 months for this payment. Any more days for this farmer would be a detrimental thing, and we want to address it like that only.
Yeah, I thank you. Very commendable things, and you have to commit means whatever you're given to the farmers. You need to stick up with that, and of course, the trust factor is always there. So that had it takes own time to build it that relation with the farmers. Agreed. I can see in the participant Mayank has raised his hand, so I'm unmuting him to ask the question. Mayank, can you hear me?
My question is to Siddharth. Actually, I have a couple
Yes.
of questions. One is he had mentioned that they operate in clusters of 1 to 5 kilometer radius. So, can you give me a ballpark of how many average farmlands would you be covering in that 1 to 5 kilometer radius? And the second question is, you raise equity funds for each project. So, have you tried exploring the debt route, and how has been the response with the Agri Infra Fund?
Yeah, thanks for raising that question, Meng. So yeah, so in that 5 kilometers radius which you have asked, like we try to install at least one cluster in there where are 4 solar pumps, one solar milling site, and then a cold storage is there. Possibility of the cold storage is there within the 20 to 30 kilometers of the radius. And the land which we see for the irrigation is around 100 bigas. So at least 100 bigas land should be available for the irrigation.
सही से screenshot
So
लो,
yeah, can you
photo
guys,
भी आए,
am I audible to you all?
भी आए, screen भी आए. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you're audible. You're audible. Sorry to
Okay,
disturb. Yeah,
no worries at all. So
yeah.
yeah, so we see that around 100 bigas land should be there, and then on that irrigation land we install around 4 solar pumps, and then a milling unit, which is a pulverizer of 5 HP power, which both solar pump and the milling unit runs from the renewable this solar panels. Also, we try to install a cold storage unit within the radius of 20 to 25 kilometers for that 100 bigas. So whatever the produce is there in that 100 bigas of land, which can be stored in that cold storage unit, if there are like any weather conditions are not favorable or anything is there, or the market price is not that supportive, so the farmers can store that unit in our store the output like the produce in our cold storages. So this is how we do our business for now, man. Yeah. Also for the equity, yeah, one more question you have raised, that do we look at any debt financing also? So definitely for now we are getting the finances from the equity, and definitely if required, like going forward, and if the management decides, we will look forward to the debt financing also for our organization. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
I
just have
hope.
one more follow up. Can I ask?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
please
Please go ahead.
Yeah. You also mentioned about the subscription model. So, what has been your experience? Have you been able to generate, I mean, get these subscriptions in prepaid manner, or you get the payments only after the service is provided?
Uh, so definitely, sometimes getting subscription from the farmers is really difficult. But yes, we do get subscriptions, and once in the areas where our business is already present, and the farmers have seen that yes, our business is going on in those areas. So getting the subscription fees from the farmers in there, like in the initial period only, is very easy. And suppose if we are not able to get the subscription fees in the initial period from the farmers, so definitely that we used to get it after our businesses started or businesses. For example, when our water pumps are running, we used to charge it through the tariffs from the farmers. So this is the two ways how we you can get the amount from the farmers. Is one through the subscription fees, and second through that the tariff which we charge for the water supply from the renewable energy sources. Yeah.
I hope
Thank
my
you.
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, Mayank. Was it clear, or you want to add on or have any follow-up question on this?
No, this is good enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Meng. Thanks for the amazing question. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll move to the next question. I must say it is a comment is coming from the one of the participant Ramakrishna that the agri startups are failing. So I can rephrase it this question that we see usually among the 10 startups, only one or two startups are able to sustain in a long journey. So I want to ask this question to both of the speakers. In what way you are taking the efforts to be the sustainable manner to run your startup, and how you are managing with the daily expenses and all those things. So if you can talk about little bit about this comment.
So I will let Rupender ji comment in first on this, and
Sure,
then I
sure.
will come into the picture. Yeah.
Sure, no issues, Siddharth. Yes, growing sustainably is very important. We have to ensure that we need to create a positive case study for the other agri startups to pursue passion in this sector. If the question is how we do it, we track our finances very clearly. We don't burn much money. We are very frugal in our approach. We understand the quality that farmer wants, and we find the most effective manner to do it. And that's majorly it. I think being frugal, being keeping a tab on the numbers, ensuring that while you are taking decisions for your company, but making sure that the farmer also get the real value of it, but in the process of it you don't burn much money, is the only way we can survive here. I think agri ecosystem has a lot of potential to offer if you use it rightly. It is the any agri startup can grow, and we just have to make sure that the victim of that margin growth for a company cannot be on the because of the farmers uh, uh, disadvantage. And just to answer on the comment that agri startups are failing, I don't believe so. I think many agri startups are coming every week, every month. Many are performing really well. Our predecessors, some of them, we have learned from their mistakes. We are learning every day. And I think huge future for agri tech startups coming forward. Yeah, over to you, Siddharth.
Yeah. Thanks, Rupender ji, for addressing it so well. And definitely, I completely agree with what Rupender ji has said, that definitely the agri startups are not failing. And we also, like when we started, we have also learned a lot from the other agribusiness startups only. And then we tried to implement that model in our startup. And also, as Rupender ji has said, we also manage our finances, and so I am the key person or the resource person to do that for now. So definitely we also manage our finances as you know, the consumer base with whom we are dealing is definitely the income levels are not that high. So we need to be very particular about that the finances and how the operation goes. Also, we try to get the SOPs in the picture, because you know, as most of the startups when they fail, definitely the SOP should be there, and they should be the like the Bible for the running the business, not any people. So definitely, as the competition is so much in the market, so the for resources, when we are looking forward to the resources, so the resources are not that durable for the companies, for the startup companies, because definitely the for-profit companies have the more funds or the more logistics or more, you know, like the benefits for the employees or the resources when we compare to any startup companies. So we need to have the SOPs or the policies in place, so that so whatever person comes in can manage their role very easily, and by seeing those SOPs and reading that policies. So yeah, definitely the good administration and the good management is the only way to run any business, whether it's a startup or for-profit business. So these are the two key factors which will assist you to grow your business. And definitely, I agree with Rupender ji's comment that agri startups are not failing at all. So yeah, so this is my point of view on that. Yeah.
Yeah, Rupender, you want to add something?
Yeah. So if I take this question in another manner, saying what an agri startup can do so that they don't burn out of money. I think it's very important just to understand what your customer is. आप किसान को समझ लीजिए, ऑफिसेज में नहीं बैठ के, गांव में जाके आप उनके साथ बैठ के देखिए, आप उनकी बातें समझिए, आपको द फाइनेंसेस, यू विल नो द फाइनेंसेस कहाँ पे हैं, कहाँ पे यू कैन मेक the farmer also profitable and make yourself as a good for profit business opportunity. Just understand your customer. मुझे लगता नहीं है कि अगर वो होगा तो आप कभी भी burn out होंगे. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Also, I also want to add on to this that yeah, listen to more people who are working on the grassroots level. Like if you want to make your startup a success, then definitely when you are making any decision or policies for your organization, so definitely consider the recommendation or inputs from the people or from the farmers also while making your decision or policies. So, yeah, that's all for my side on this question.
Yeah, very well taken. The points coming from this long discussion, I must say, for this question, that the I would must summarize it that the first you should not burn the so much of cash on the capital, so that you in a way it's a saving or income for your startup, and the administrative level management, how they are deciding and taking your startup at a next stage level. And very well point coming from the Siddharth that you should have the connections with the grassroots people and the farmers that you are dealing with to have that rapport and building the trust, which will give you the income for your startup. So I think this point will come very well. And along with that, also I would like to add in this question that government is also come up with a good initiatives to supporting to the startups. So like Manage is supporting start mainly agri-tech startups under RKVY-RAFTAAR for funding up to 5 to 25 lakh rupees as a grant. So I think this is also another way to get the funds and to serve your startup and benefit to the farmers through your activities. Yeah, and for that reason there are different announcements are there. We will be keep this announcement at the end as a suspense. But let's forward to the next question, which is coming in the YouTube actually from the one of the participants. He's mentioning that how Indian entrepreneurs get the agri idea screen through different organizations and what will be the fees. So like at initial stage, maybe Urja and HFN has come with different institutions. If you can give some little bit idea to the budding agripreneurs and agri startups, in a what way you screen and or in a what way you develop your business model, so that will help to the participants.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go first. I think if I understand the question correctly, how in the initial stages an agri startup ideate on a particular problem and select which problem to solve, right? That's the question?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's for if you are building a for-profit startup, you'll have to ensure that uh, the the stream of business opportunity exists in whatever ideation that you are creating. Of course, the entire problem is very complex. We want to solve all aspects of it. If you pick just one thing, like if you want to solve for soil degradation, you can create 100 startups out of it. If you want to solve for inputs, you can create 100 startups out of it. And all of these problems are important to be addressed. But when you are as a startup, you're running for profitability also, you're running for your revenue also. You have to ensure that the right business opportunity exists, and right business opportunity along with farmers interest can give you a long time growth. Once you have the money in your bank, when you are running it profitably, you can definitely do a lot of experiments to make sure that the non-revenue streaming opportunities could also be addressed. Like if I pick just one example, we may say deforestation could also be a big problem for our country. Maybe I come from a state which is often accused of burning paddy straws. Now that is also a problem to be addressed. Now to solve it in a manner is I can provide uh, let's say better harvesting machines to all the farmers. Now that would be a cost intensive exercise, but a But a way some of the startups in Punjab are solving it is buying that paddy straw from the farmer, converting it into corrugated boxes, converting it into biofuels, and creating a business opportunity. Now that's a beautiful example. You can decide any problem to solve, but it has to have some business sense to it. Yeah, that's where I conclude.
Yeah, it's
Siddharth.
really interesting to know that farmers are experimenting themselves. They have come up with the bio products like biodiesel and corrugated boxes. Yeah. Siddharth, you want to add something in this question?
Yeah, so first I want to say that can you once again repeat the question for me, Amit?
Yeah, basically the
Hmm.
ideation stage startups or early stage startups, they are not much aware or they don't have mentoring to how they can revamp or how they can rework on their business model. So in your case, I'm just asking how you approach to different institutions, in what way you are evolving your business model. So that can be helpful to joining participants, the agri startups who are there.
Okay, yeah, Amit. So yeah, definitely that's a very detailed question, and then we have started. Yes, when you are in a startup and you are starting up your business, and a lot of the things you don't have the clarity. Slowly and slowly, as you move on, you bring in the human resources, you bring in the like the funds for your startup, and then you have like the people coming in suggesting you the things, and then you have the clarity that how to build it on or how to work, how to grow your startup slowly and slowly. So as I have said before only that we need to like to first we the human sources what we are having, we need to be very much clear with our mission and vision statement. To make any startup or make any business a success, you need to be very much clear with your mission and vision statement. And with every task which you are performing, your mission statement should be clear in your head. And accordingly, you need to do your goal setting. So if these processes, if you follow and if you have a clarity on what your startup is going to do, and you have the proper knowledge or you have the clarity that this is the problem identification which my startup has done, and now we are moving forward to resolve this problem. We are moving forward to resolve this issue. If the clarity you have in your mind, and never you should never deviate from that path which you have chosen from to go from point A to point B. So if you deviate from that part, definitely the chances of failing are very much. But if you have identified one problem and you are moving it towards it, and then definitely your startup will get success. And these are the pointers you should keep in mind when you are running up any business or like working in or having your own startup. Yeah.
Yeah, I must say very good success mantras or the key points are coming through this discussion. I think Daniel is joining from the international participant. I hope you got the well suggestions from the speakers. And along with that, I would like to add two, 3 points that the institutions like Manage or the different institutions across the incubation centers are working. They are trying to get the mentoring support at early stage to the startup while developing their prototype. Even different ministry schemes are there for supporting by providing a sort of a seed funding to just work on their ideas. In that way, these incubation centers with the ecosystem which is evolving across the India are helping to the budding startups in a way to get a good business model and they can be survive in the long term. Yeah, well, let's forward to the next question, which is coming from the Akshat. This question is for the Siddharth, that which are the crops or which are the farmers you are mainly focusing on to provide the services, and how it is difficult to you get the subscription. You already talked about it. How you, in a way, you are convincing. That's what he wants to know.
Yeah. So for now, we are looking for the like the customer base, or they can say the farmer base, which we are serving for now is we'll go when we go into the field, we look for the farmers who are having the small farm holdings, like from 2 to 3 bighas, and then we want them to form a group of like 15 farmers who have the similar kind of land holding for to install. This is about installing the one asset, or you can say the one solar pump. We used to see that 15 farmers are there who are having the land holding of around 25 to 30 bighas. And definitely, if they are in the region where we are already having our operations, so the convincing mechanism to get the subscription fees is definitely easy. But yeah, starting in a new place and getting a penetration in the new market is definitely sometimes it's a difficult thing. But where our operations are already going, to getting a subscription fees and convincing farmers is not that difficult, because that has been already done by the previous farmer, or from where they have got the lead for the installation of asset. So this is how we penetrate. And the crops, which basically in UP, as you may know, like most of the farmers used to do the in Rabi season they used to have the wheat, and then in Kharif season they used to have the rice. So and again in Zayed, most of them the areas in which we are serving, they used to take the peppermint. So these are the three cropping patterns which are being followed in the regions where we are having our assets for now. So yeah, this is how we approach the farmers and get the subscription fees, and these are the farmlands where we have our assets for
Yeah.
now installed. Yeah.
Yeah, Siddharth, just follow up with this question. When we came to the across different applications from the startup, mainly from the UP and the MP region. So we see a couple of small innovators are coming with their own threshers and own harvesters. So do you feel that they are the threat for your business model, and in a what way actually you are managing with these unorganized players also? And whether it is affecting really on your business model. Just I want to know.
So for now, I will say definitely, Amit, that's a good question which has came up. As you know, like the several schemes from the governments are also coming, and also like the lot of small entrepreneurs are also coming into the picture. But as I have told that our demand assessment team and site identification team are very much worse about on that. So before getting our assets installed on any field, we do a lot of surveys. We try to understand the customer demand, and we also analyze that if any competitor comes into this place tomorrow, then what will be happening to our asset. So that demand adjustment and site identification is very necessary before installation of any asset into the field. Definitely, the demand, like the leads are very much, but we cannot follow up on each lead, because we see that I will tell you some criteria which we see before assessing our demand is we see that that nearby no water resources should be available, or if the we are going to install our cold storage or the cooling units, we see that there should be no cold storage available in nearby districts or in the nearby areas. So these are the things which we already do while our site identification, and we try to ensure that if any competitor or a small entrepreneur or a big government project comes into the picture, then also our harvesting is like our business model is not affected that much. So for now, we are taking this approach into the like this approach, but definitely like farmers are progressing with getting progress with each coming day, and the government projects are coming in to the picture with like the as you have seen like the in Kusum 2 has been launched in the UP. So all these things are coming in, but I think that for now we are in a good situation to expand our business and to run our operations as they are going on.
Yeah, it's quite clear,
Yeah.
Siddharth, in what way you are serving to the farmers, and I hope the attendees who are joining from that region got the idea how they can avail these services. One question is coming from the Rupinder, that you mentioned about the community, HFN community. So how a person or a farmer can be the part of that HFN community? What benefits he will can avail, and any charges are there for being the part of that community, so that if you can give a little bit idea on that.
Sure. I'll quickly touch base on it. First of all, there are no charges to be part of the community. Uh, if if there's already a HFN Sarthi present in your village, you can become part of his or her network. If there is not, you can be the community leader to lead the community in that location. As of now, we are operating similar to what Siddharthji said. We are also operating in UP belt predominantly. So wherever our services of goods are available, wherein we are buying from entire North India, but we are selling inputs in a there's some restricted geography that is the only service that you may not be able to get. But for the rest, all the services, we have a toll-free number. When you become part of the community, you get regular updates. You can ask an agronomist a question anytime. You can get on a video call with an agronomist, show your crops. You can send your crop to us, and we may be able to help you with not just the healthy or unhealthiness of that crop, or but also with who could be a trusted retailer around you whom you can visit. So that's all the services are available to all the farmers. Our toll free number 1-800-891-8903 is available for any farmer to call us and take our services, and it's absolutely free of cost. We don't charge you anything for any farmer or any agent. We don't charge them anything.
Definitely, we are also sharing the speakers' details in the chat box. Also, we are mailing their details. So if you still have any questions, you may connect with him for availing their services and for any clearing the any queries. There is actually two questions are coming to Rupendaryu on a similar line. Sumanta is asking that how HFN is distributing knowledge and how HFN was accumulating the knowledge before meeting and convincing the farmers. And the same way, there is one question is coming from the Sayyid Saad also. The farmers has their own traditional knowledge. How you are integrating that also. So, Rupendra, if you can quickly address this question.
So I'll take it in three parts: how we are assimilating knowledge, how we are communicating, and how we are helping them get better understanding more and more beyond the traditional knowledge. The first one, how we are getting knowledge, I think it's a never-ending journey. We have very selected, trained agronomists who help us understand the ecosystem, but the literal language and the literal knowledge and what is happening on the ground may be a bit different. I'm not just saying because the books are not right, but because the Indian ecosystem and every farmer is so different. Every 100 kilometer, a cropping pattern change, the language change. What pest is called in one geography is not being called in another geography by some other name. So it's very important that whenever we are having such sessions with farmers, we first do a recce of that geography. We understand what is growing there, what are the problems they are facing, so that we can talk in their language.
True.
Second is how we communicate. So that's where the community concepts comes in. If I go as a stranger to a farmer meeting, uh, the influence may not be that strong. But if a community leader is standing with me and attesting to the fact that these people have come to give you help only and for your benefit only, then the impact becomes better. We get more earballs to listen to our communication. That's how we communicate. And I think third part was how we can move them away, or they already have traditional knowledge, how they get our wisdom in their life. So we don't force fit anything. I think it's whatever traditional knowledge farmers have, it comes from 15-20 years of experience. It has some value in it. We just try to top up on it and try to see that in that traditional knowledge, if you're suffering, this is how you're suffering, this is your pain point, and let me help you answer this. Once they have a trust between us, then they are happy to experiment and maybe try some of our other services also. Yeah, I think more or less that. I can give you an example of the last part. We have talked about traditional knowledge in a lot of cropping practices, but then there's a lot of data asymmetry with respect to the credit available to the farmer. We in our knowledge forums, in our blog post, we discuss कि farmer को credit बहुत महंगा मिलता है. They get it at a very higher price. But to make the farmer understand it, that the bank and an official credit may be going out at 7, 8, 10, 12, 13%, but that local Artiya or someone who's giving you money, that is actually accumulating up to 30, 40%. I think it's a journey. First, we need to establish that trust. Once the trust is established, we can help them understand where things are wrong so that they can start correcting it.
I must say, Rupinder, it's a really a great combination. that you first go and understood the geography, what the farmers had their own belief and the traditional knowledge, and with the technology AI, you are trying to disseminate the knowledge. It's a really good. One of the last question is coming from the R director, sir, from Saravanan Raj, sir. He is there. He's listening the conversation. So he wants to understood, Rupinder, that how the developmental organizations like Department of Agriculture or those who are in extension activities are involved are working with the HFN. So if you can give a little bit idea on that.
Yeah, so thank you, sir, for this question. I may not be the right person to answer on it. I don't find myself equipped to. I can share on the basis of what synergies we have. Uh, I believe it's a very two-way street. We are working with ICAR in a lot of knowledge transfer. We are working with local universities, and time to time we discuss ideas with the Department of Agriculture, whether it's a state level or the at central level. We share ideas with them wherever we can help them do something or make our data accessible to them. We try to do that. And there are other government bodies which work on not just farming but farming a lot with AI. We are working with them also. So one of the biggest institution is here in Mohali only, and so these are the different aspects we are doing. I won't say that uh, uh, there's an actual partnership with any government body, but then time to time we have interactions with them. In our past, I can take the liberty to comment that our CEO at one point, when we were doing a lot of satellite imagery and crop uh, predictions, production predictions, we mapped the entire crop production of wheat of Punjab and presented it to the state government, and they appreciated it. And maybe a comment was that this could be better than what maybe the other census. So that's where our collaboration comes with the government bodies. Yeah, I hope I would have added a value to your question.
Yeah, indeed, Rupinder. So yeah, it's time is now running out, so it's time coming to the end. But before that, there are several questions are coming privately to me. That sir, in what way we can screen our own ideas, in what way we get the funds. So of course, there are a couple of good announcements are there at the end of this webinar. So we have just going to open the pre-incubation program applications for the ideation stage startups or those who really interested to do the agri startups. So they will get the idea in what way you can start your own startup, what are the legal registration compliances are there, what is the business canvas model, how you can make the pitch deck. So that idea you will get through this pre-incubation program. Their applications we are going to make live from the Monday onwards, or it's already live. You can check the details on our website and social media pages. Along with that, someone Sayyed is asked me about the funding support. So of course, we are going to announce the cohort 10 very soon. From Monday, you will see the applications are open. So where the ideation stage startups get the funding up to 5 lakhs and seed stage startups get the funding up to the 25 lakh. But not only the funding, but along with that, you will get the 2 months of residential training here in the manage and the network what we have built developed across the India. We are going to support through that. So a lot of support is coming from our end to these budding startups. So keep following our social media pages and the website where you will get the regular notifications. So, and of course, other programs, what we are running, their updates also we are posting and sharing there. So with this short info, we'd like to say thank you to both the speakers. In fact, we give very small time. In the last yesterday only we informed to join us webinar, and you accepted our invitation and joined with us and sharing the idea about how you are developing the community, farmers community, and enhancing their lives. So thank you for joining us. And the participants, of course, who are asking very relevant questions to the speakers and patiently listening to them, and entire team of manage and especially Director Sarvanan sir for being there for this whole webinar. Thank you all. We'll see you in the next webinar in the next Saturday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, team manage. Thank you all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manage team. Thank you, Pragya, for coordinating. Thank you, Amit, for hosting. It was really great. Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you very much. It's a nice webinar, and the question and answer was very good. Yeah, thank you very much. It's nice.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure.
It's good.